Hello everybody, how often do you take on new risks at work? And when you do take on those risks, how do you manage the expectations of the client? And how do you determine the price? This is a big risk that we took nearly 3 years ago in Anegada, in the middle of nowhere in the British Virgin Islands. Turned out pretty well, but it wasn't easy and we learned a lot. Check out this video and stay tuned and you can watch how we did it.
I was standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, baby, playing it through. I was calling out your name, with my eyes on the wall. You were running like a ghost from me.
Good morning everybody, we're heading over to Anegada today. We've been working on this residential project for nearly 3 years now. It's been a little crazy. Originally we were contracted to do the floors. They wanted colored polished concrete. So we did that, and then the house shortly after got hit by Hurricane Irma during construction. So there were some damaged materials, there were some delays. The project ended up taking probably about 2 years, and then you know, for the last year we've just been back and forth doing, you know, a final snag list just whenever we get time to go over there. But the house is obviously finished, it's just like minor stuff. But the client only uses the house a couple times a year, so it's not very convenient obviously, but you know, it's just been dragging out far too long, and we're trying to go over today for our last day and finish everything that we need to finish so we can close out the contract. But this is by far our longest job that we've been on for in one location. It's a 7,000 square foot two houses. One's about 5,000 square feet, the other one's about 1,500 square feet. And we did the interior floors, polished concrete. We did all the countertops and bathroom vanities. We did all the shower walls. We did all the exterior plastering and micro topping cement. And we did the exterior balconies as well with polishable overlay by Rapid Set. So stay tuned. We'll film a little bit today and see what we see and finish up the snag list. And yeah, stay tuned. Enjoy. So those of you that aren't familiar with Anegada, it's an island in the British Virgin Islands that has a very small population and no hardware stores. So a contractor actually approached me to do the floors. The client wanted colored concrete, but a matte finish. We discussed color hardeners, we discussed integral color, and we felt because of the location and all the challenges with that location, we decided that a polishable overlay with integral color would be the best solution to minimize the amount of risks. So, you know, in 2017, we went ahead and we quoted the job. Very inexperienced at the time. We had a lot of experience with polishable overlays, but none of this size and none with this amount of challenges geographically. The biggest challenge with doing a project of this scale in Anegada is that there's no hardware store here. So if you forget any item or material or tool, you're pretty much delayed for that day in completing that task. It's very difficult to, make a thorough list and have everything that you need on site every time that you're here, especially when you're working over several months on a 7,000 square foot job. So that was a big challenge. A lot of the times the running water and the electricity would go out, so we'd have to use generators, or we just wouldn't have water for a long period of time, where we'd have to store water and use 55-gallon drums. The other challenges are just long hours. Like if you're here for multiple days at a time, you have to stay up in a hotel. So there's a lot of overtime wages associated with paying your workers, and just being away from your family is tough. So, we spent probably 3/4 of the time here working, spending the nights in hotels and then commuting occasionally. But there were many, many days where we'd have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, like this morning, and catch a 6:45 boat from Road Town, come over, hour-and-a-half commute, then get a rental vehicle, get to the site, do some work, and then, at 5 o'clock you pack back up and, your 2.5-hour commute on the way back home as well. So it's very long days, 15, 16-hour days working over here if you're just coming over for the day. Something we anticipated, but not to the fullest extent that we probably should have in hindsight. But, it was a good learning lesson. In this particular area of the house, we had to do an underlayment before we did the finish coat of True, because the concrete slab wasn't as level as we would have liked it. So we had to do multiple layers of cement before we could actually get a level finish and start polishing the floor. It wasn't easy, it required a lot of extra materials, and we got it done. These concrete countertops were requested by the client to be black and a rustic finish. She didn't want a polished concrete finish, so we casted these concrete countertops in place and then finished them with a micro-topping cement and an acrylic sealer. Another big challenge that we had was with the shower floors. She wanted the same material in the shower floors and for it to run fluidly throughout the rest of the bathroom and the rest of the house. So again, with the self-leveling cement and sloping the floors of the showers to the drain, it was not easy. A lot of what we did was pour a thicker build material with the True and then grind it down where we could grind it down. But when you do that, you're going to get some discoloration and stuff where it's sloped more than others. So that wasn't an easy challenge for us, and in hindsight I probably wouldn't do it again. Hello everybody, thanks for watching the Anegada video. It was a long 3 years, and we want to send a special thank you to Lawrence and Harella at Anegada Reef Hotel for putting us up all those nights when we were working over there. We also want to thank Little Bit and his daughter Lauren for the rental vehicles, for allowing us to use their vehicles and setting up our food while we were over there. And lastly, Karen for cooking all the food. We thank you very much, and we appreciate you watching.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Cheers.